Hello, and thank you for taking the time to listen to these messages. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Also, check out the description box for ways to support our channel. Thank you. Hello, welcome to The Collective Perspective. My name is Alec Himes, and in this particular upload, I think we're going to do a freestyle. And I humbly believe that they want me to talk about unity and people starting to come together. I've been fasting all morning, so I haven't had anything to eat or drink. So I'm pretty sharp right now. Every night, whether you're aware of it or not, when you lay down to go to sleep, the essence that animates your meat suit comes out of it and it goes somewhere. We don't know where it goes. I know where I go sometimes because I lucid dream. So I am aware sometimes where I am and what I'm doing in my dreams. The one thing about that is when the essence that animates you comes out of your meat suit, it doesn't have a color. It doesn't have an orientation. It's energy, which is what we are. We are energy. The 22 grams that leaves our body at the time of death, that is your energy signature. That is the essence that animates you, that leaves every night when you go to sleep. That being said, that should be your first indication that your flesh, your meat suit, really doesn't matter. My flesh, my meat suit, how others see me as the light shines and hits me. This is how I chose to incarnate. This is how my energy chose to express itself in this particular incarnation. I've lived many lives. I've been here from the beginning. I've lived as every race on this earth. That's why I can tell you that the meat suit, orientation, all of that stuff, none of it matters. Just as a lot of people place a lot of emphasis on an individual, one individual that chose to incarnate and fulfill his mission. But instead of focusing on that one individual, focus on the energy. Okay? Focus on the energy that represented that meat suit. Think about the fact that energy signature that composed and animated that meat suit came and expressed itself many different times during the course of history. He may have been Yeshua or Jesus in that particular existence, but that same energy signature manifested itself in other ways and in other cultures and with different names many times throughout history. And that consciousness, that energy signature, is here on the planet right now. It's just that a lot of people are looking for a person to come back. Instead of looking for the energy signature of what that represents. And I humbly believe that the next coming is not going to be an individual. It's going to be a collective. Christ is going to be awakened within all of us. That's what I humbly believe. But believing that, again, going back to the energy signature, excuse me, I believe that that's why we need to be united. Too many people are allowing government and religion and different structures in society to dictate how they treat or how they view, other people. And a lot of that was, a lot of that was, again, through different social systems and different ways that we've come to these thought processes and these ideologies. But nonetheless, we're here, and there are people on this planet. There are beings on this planet that think like that, and what I've noticed is just the regular people, like people I work with, may have tooled up with in construction and worked side by side with. It might have been a big old tatted up biker, a big old, excuse my language or phraseology, but a big old redneck country boy. You know what I'm saying? Hispanic, Mexican. It could be anybody, And when I work next to them, I don't look at it like that. You know what I mean? And for the large part, they don't look at it like that either. It's like guys like us on the ground level of things, the people that actually get stuff done, the boots on the ground. Like, we're okay with each other. We all get along. It's in those upper levels of society that they want to push these different views and agendas onto us. You know what I mean? You'll see it. You'll see it perpetuated throughout the media as well. They play to the narrative of, the racial division and the different class division and religion and all these different things. But again, I humbly believe that we are going to be stronger united. I believe that they use all those tactics and all those things to divide and conquer. When people realize that, yes, I can be left. Yes, I can be right. Democrat, Republic, i.e. We don't have to agree on everything. We don't have to agree on the small things. But if we focused on the big things, and also look at what we have in common, I think that that's going to win every battle every time. Because again, as much as they want to keep us divided, if we focused on our similarities and we focused on meeting the needs of each other, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody would really get left out, you know? Um, it's a choice, really. It's really a choice. And unfortunately, there are a few bad apples at the ground level. You know what I mean? Because, you know, the elites and the higher ups, they need pawns. They need people that's going to serve their agenda. So there are a limited number of people that subscribe to that, you know, and I don't hold it against them. They're just they're just uneducated. They're just not well informed of everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? And so I can't look at a man who judges me or dislikes me because the color of my skin. I can't look at that man with hate and disdain for his ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Um, we have to be tolerant because, you know, again, some people were indoctrinated into this system, you know, from the time that they were born. You know, they were taught to hate black people or hate white people or hate cops or hate Hispanics or, you know what I mean? The list goes on, you know, the list goes on. And even though we're taught those things as kids, you know, oh, don't talk to the police, they're bad. Don't call the police. We don't call the police in the hood. You know, that may be. But at some point, you know, when we become rational adults and we think for ourselves, you know, we have to kind of formulate our own opinions about those types of things, you know? And so the responsibility does lie with us. And, you know, once we become aware that, you know, they want to use division, they want to use all these things to keep us at odds with each other, it's our responsibility to educate our children, you know, and to raise our children to be aware of those things as well, you know. And I can tell when somebody don't like me, you know. I've been on this earth long enough, and I'm very adept at reading body language and eye contact. I can tell when a person doesn't like me just by the way they look at me, or by I'm an empath, so I feel energy. Like somebody could be throwing me a death stare, you know what I mean? And I don't even have to be looking at them. I can feel it. I'm like, somebody looking at me somewhere? But yeah, that's just what it is. So as we become educated and elevated, we have to also educate our children, you know, so that we don't make these same mistakes in the future, you know. And we've gotten a lot better because the kids that I see today, oh my gosh, um, I see the little young black kids and white kids playing together and Hispanic kids. I mean, I love it. Like it literally brings tears to my eyes. I just have so much joy. You know what I'm saying? Do we have to intermix? No, we don't. You know, do we have to respect each other and learn how to live and coexist? Yes, we do. You know, there's no law saying that just because I accept you and your culture, that means I have to mix with you and your culture. No, no, I can still maintain my identity and my cultural standards, and we can do that over here, and you can do that over there. You know what I mean? And we can all get along and respect each other accordingly. You know what I'm saying? And if people did want to mix, you know, in my humble opinion, I see no better way than to mix together and become as one race like we started off as. Because if we do the history, we started off as one race. We started off as one race. We all came from Lucy. That one common genetic strand comes back to that one female. You know what I mean? And through time and eons of evolution, the Bible would give us 6,000 years. Are you kidding me? Don't make me laugh. Seriously. When you look at Göbekli Tepe, when you look at the Sphinx, when you look at a lot of this evidence that the archaeologists are uncovering more and more every single year, that tells us that our history goes back tens and thousands of years. Not thousands, tens of thousands, you see. And yeah, I believe we started off as one race, and then we migrated and moved, and by going into different regions of this world where the climate and the sun exposure weren't the same or weren't as favorable for beings, for life, over thousands of years, you're going to have a genetic change. I'm sorry. If a group of people spends 1,000 years in ice and never seeing the sun, what do you think is going to happen? I know what happens to me just in one winter being out the sun. Just in one winter, not having my sunlight, I lose at least a shade. You know what I mean? Most melanated people, most black people, we lose a shade in the wintertime. And that should tell you right there. Just think of 1,000 winter times with no sunlight. 1,000 years or whatever, however long they spent in that 10,000 years in the Ice Age. The group of people that came out of that Ice Age, they were not the same group of people that went into that Ice Age. Because you're talking about thousands of years of evolution in those specific conditions. That's going to alter your genetic makeup. That's going to alter your cellular structure. It's going to alter your skin composition, your hair, everything. Everything about you will be altered. Just the same as if you take a person and you put them in the sun perpetually. Everything about them is going to change. You see? And so, if we can't look at some of those basic things, now granted, we do have a lot of interference that's gone on. We do have a lot of things that have happened throughout history, granted. But that goes back to the parable of the wheat and tares. That's why you cannot discern who's who until the harvest. Because there are a lot of infiltrators here on this planet right now that are here to sow discord, and they're here to cause chaos and all those different things. Because that's the kind of beings they are. You know what I mean? So, we just have to be aware. And we just have to be discerning. And those on the frequency and vibration of love and of unity, find like-minded people and come together with them. You know what I mean? Start to make small communities and small networks and whatnot. But my overall message, again, is unity. Everyone, every being coming together, accepting and loving each other, and all of us figuring out what's going to be the best for all parties involved so that we can all proceed forward in the future, together as a collective. So again, like everything else, take it with a grain of salt. My opinion is just that, an opinion. But I would like to humbly thank everyone for taking the time to listen to this message and to allow me to express my thoughts and show my love to the world. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.